if I had to pick a rotary, this one would be the one. Are you down to drive it hooked up or no? You don't want to?
No, we don't even know if this thing will drift to do a lap. Wow, he's already trying to get me to drop.
These tires are just weird at high pressures. This is gonna be like one of the fastest drift cars you've ever driven, like for sure. This is faster than your pro car. This tire will the world out of your pro car.
Yeah,
tire.
I know. That's why I want high pressure.
It's still faster. It's a trailing arm car. It's light as.
I don't like these tires, but they're already mounted to our pretty
Would you agree
wheels.
this car's gonna be faster than a pro car right now?
Yeah, just in the tire itself.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta go to 60 in the rear.
Wow. Drive it.
Okay, 60 in the front.
What?
They're trying to get me to brake already. Just first donut.
Put
Full
6
drip.
here on the
Alberta, are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready? It's happening? It's happening. I think it's happening. Great engine-wise, it's healthy, it sounds great. Freddie's still checking it over, making sure everything looks solid. However, I'm bottoming out in the front. I guess my car is too low and my spring rates are way too soft. So literally I'll go in past the Nito drop and it just rips the wheel out of my hands. It's just bottoming out on the chassis. So I also don't have a front sway bar, so that's not helping. So add front sway bar up on spring rate and hopefully that will help. Maybe raise it like a quarter, half an inch. So little things, you know, I'm just pumped to get my first few laps in this. We want to just rush out here and test it out really quickly before doing stuff like alignment or really dialing in our suspension and all that. So that might be it. I still want to do at least end celebratory burnout or figure eights in the center pad over here to like go out in style. But I am pumped. Like now we can start actually dialing in the chassis already, which is such good news. The engine's happy, I'm happy, and yeah, I can't believe we're here. And technically those were the first few laps. Did they maybe look the best? No, but we're so close. And now like what we have to focus on is really exciting things, and I'm pumped. Big thanks to Coinbase for making this build possible. And let's just get it out of the way. No, I am not launching my own Neon Princess coin. That is not what Coinbase is all about. Coinbase is run by car enthusiasts who wanted to support the community while also spreading awareness about crypto. This partnership is extra special to me because over a decade ago, I attended Tim Draper's entrepreneur school in California, and at the time, Coinbase was just a small startup working in the same building as me, and to now be a decade later working with them on such a special project is an amazing full circle moment. Now let's get the facts straight. Coinbase is the most trusted and secure place to buy, sell, and manage your crypto. They're publicly traded and millions of people use their platform daily. And thanks to this partnership, you can now build with Bitcoin to shop on drifthq.com. I just bought this Garrett with Bitcoin and now you can too. And here's how you do it. You're gonna head over to drifthq.com, get whatever you need for your build, add it to your cart, put in all of your information. When you get to the payment section right here, select Coinbase Commerce and you're good. And right now, Coinbase is giving all of you $20 in free Bitcoin when you sign up using code BUILD20. I feel like I'm getting ready to like dig into some food. Oh no. Super happy with where we ended up, tune-wise and power-wise. Not happy with the first drifts ever. As you may have seen in the video, it was like hitting the chassis so much, and yes, we could raise it, but I think a big part of the problem was just the spring rate that we had in the front. I have 8Ks in the front, and I don't have a front sway bar currently because we have to modify the setup for the existing one that was on the original car. So I want to get some proper rips in this car and like actually fully experiencing it, not hitting everything. Another issue that we had is that the angle limiters, where is it? These were not on there. So not only was it hitting the top of the chassis, it was also hitting the lower control arm really, really bad, and the inside of the chassis really bad. On this side, it's not as bad as it is on the other side of the car. But the issue is we only have one of these. I managed to find one. So the other one's missing. The other side of the car is way worse than this side, so I made a template of this. I might get creative and try and make just a bracket or something to act as one temporarily for this side, but I'm gonna install this on the worst side for now. And we're going from the 8Ks that were in the front here, and I'm throwing on 20s. That is a huge, huge jump, but it's kind of all I have around the property right now. I think I actually stole these from Adam, and the spring is actually the same length, so we don't have to adjust height. If I can get away with keeping the height the exact same and just throwing on a 20, that would be ideal, because fitment, you know, we don't really want to sacrifice looking cool if we have to. We want form and function. So we'll see if this solves that problem. The 20Ks are actually already on this one, and luckily with an FC, you can just unbolt the top hat, drop it down like this, take this nut off, put the new spring on, and put it back in without having to take them all the way out of the car. Some cars you can get away with that, so it makes the job a lot faster and easier. This side, like I said, is already done, so I'm just gonna bolt the top hat back on and then go switch it on the other side. So hopefully this is our solution to doing cool drifty things, and we'll try again. So this is the side I was mentioning that has a lot more damage. So now you can see how bad it was hitting, but like 8K in the front is really, really, really soft, especially for the front and especially for not having a front sway bar. So hopefully, like I said, we can keep our fitment and our stance and just throw 20Ks on there and be fine. But because this side was way worse and the lower control arm damage looked worse on this side too, just probably because of the layout here at the compound, I'm gonna put our actual angle limiter from O&D on this side, and then we'll just cross our fingers for the other side. But yeah, not good.
That's what that means.
Yeah, that's your signal, your universal sign. All right, the car is on the ground already with 20Ks in the front. I'm pretty sure it kind of looks higher already. It's definitely not gonna be traveling as much. We'll find out shortly. But another thing that we need to do is install our brand new UC10 Haltech dash. This is their 10-inch full digital dash that I am super pumped about. It also has data logging and everything built in, and you can even connect a backup camera. And if you have a firewall and you can't see anything, that's pretty sweet. I don't have the camera now, but that's definitely the plan. We actually stole the IC7 dash that I used to have in here and put it in the Pro car. Over there. Yeah, right over there. We put it in the Pro car because the original plan was to put the new UC10 dash in here, and luckily it has the same exact mounting footprint that the IC7 does. So if you have an IC7 and you want to upgrade, it is super easy. It's just these 3 little inserts here, same each one, and the plug style is also the same. So we took that into consideration when we mounted the original one to make sure there was enough space on this dash. I really would have loved this in the Pro car, but there's not enough space with the dash that I have in there. So we're gonna throw this in and see what it looks like.
Hiding these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad, but now it's at my own